Hedgewolf here, and yes, I'm still sick. But as for future streams and whatnot, I probably won't be sick, but you get the idea. Anyway, this was one of the most frustrating things to find in terms of lore. Let me get Bakugan in here.
Wow, that was a ringtone I was not expecting.
Oh, what did you not expect? The spooky ringtones that Discord had?
Yeah, but Halloween is over, so we might as well remove it.
Bakugan's here with me for the prediction, and like I said, this was probably one of the more annoying ones in terms of finding for feats and stats, which is...
Sauron versus the Lich King.
Exactly. I would have found it on the Versus Wiki, but for some stupid reason, the Versus Wiki doesn't have Lich King.
It does have Sauron, but the stats for each fighter is kind of ridiculous depending on which item they have. So I'm getting the information from the BB Fanon Wiki, the official BB Wiki, and looking up information based on the One Ring and why Sauron can't turn invisible. Just to specify, just to get things clear, I have never watched Lord of the Rings, nor have I read the books or played the games, and I have never played World of Warcraft, and I don't know anything about these characters at all.
Well, a good thing. And here's the thing I know about Lich King, okay? It's going to be played in the background, I'm not going to show any footage. But, wow, Ozzy Osbourne. I'm not going to play all of the trailer, but you'll get the idea of what I mean.
Okay.
I'm Ozzy Osbourne, and I'm the Prince of Darkness.
The Lich King is the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy.
Well, maybe you're the one who's been riding a crazy train, but I've been the Prince of Darkness since 1979.
Are you searching for the trailers?
Oh yeah, I got the trailer for it.
Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, the Lich King says in the trailer there can be only one Prince of Darkness. Which, here, I'll send it to you. That way I'm not playing the whole fucking trailer.
Okay.
That way you can get an idea. That's the video that I heard of the Lich King from. For the first time. And then, over time, more memes popped up with this character. And one of them involved Patrick, where he tried to grab a pickle from a jar or whatever. And he pulls out a random object. And one of the memes had the Lich King's sword. And it was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever witnessed. But anyways,
Okay.
yeah, some of these ads were a little wacky. I mean,
Hey, it was the 2000s when World of Warcraft was released, alright?
hell, it was around that time when WoW was actually popular. Hell, there was even a Mr. T advert for it. Yeah, it gets pretty silly.
Okay, so, ready to do the prediction?
So yeah, for lore purpose, I will refer to WoW, but for the sake of condensing it, I will try my best with the Fanon wiki for Lich King, considering in order for me to fucking figure out what his weapons are, I had to look on certain matchups and shit just for me to understand it.
And like I said, I had to look up the information based on the One Ring and its functions and why Sauron can't turn invisible, because I realized that he can't turn invisible, but I'm not going to get into that. But I will later.
So yeah, we should start with Sauron. That way before we jump into the skid marks that is the Lich King.
Alright, well, I managed to find some history behind Sauron, and Jesus Christ, it's long. It's like reading it's like reading a paragraph of an essay I have to do, and I don't know if I can get into this. but I'll try to read this as fast as possible. Sauron's history was during the beginning days of Middle-earth. Sauron was once a Maya named Myron, who learned the ways of craftsmanship from Aule the smith. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. While he was good and pure, it was Myron's love for order and perfection that led to his corruption by Melkor. Myron served as Melkor's spy throughout the First Age until revealing his servitude to Morgoth while renamed Sauron. Though Morgoth was defeated and sealed away, Sauron created an established cult dedicated to his master, despite wanting to control others while his master desired to only destroy everything. During the Second Age, after weaseling out of justice for his role in Morgoth's actions, Sauron escaped and took residence in Mordor, where he slowly built the strength to declare war once more. At that time, donning the fair visage of Anatar, Sauron proceeded to manipulate the elvish smiths of Eregion to forge the rings of power for the races. The three to the elves, Elrond, Galadriel, and Gilgalad. 7 to the dwarf lords, and 9 to the kings among men. But Sauron also forged the secret the One Ring, infusing his life force into it, with the ability to control the holders of the rings of power, and through them the free peoples. But the elves, sensing Sauron's schemes, hid their rings, while the dwarves were unaffected by their rings. Despite the setback with the two races, Sauron succeeds in gaining control of the ones who would come to be known as the Nazgul, and most of the men with the expectation of the Númenóreans. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but whose downfall Sauron later arranged. The battles that ensued eventually come to a close when the last alliance laid siege to Barad-dûr, with Sauron destroyed when Isildur, son of Elendil, took up his father's broken sword, Narsil, and cut the One Ring from Sauron's finger. Despite his defeat, Sauron was not vanquished permanently, as he was reduced to a non-corporeal form due to the One Ring. While the ring was lost, the aftermath of Isildur's death, ending up in the possession of Gollum, Sauron would go into hiding in Dol Guldur, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, to slowly recover his strength for a millennia, until he resurfaced as the Necromancer, with none realizing his return. But Gandalf realizes the enemy's return and investigates Dol Guldur, while aiding Thorin Oakenshield in his company's quest. Oakenshield is his stupid name. Altering the White Council as they drive Sauron from Mirkwood. Sauron flees to Mordor, where he makes final preparations for his final war against the free people of Middle-earth with the aid of Sauron, while having the Nazgul find his ring, having interrogated Gollum to find it in the possession of the Baggins family to complete his restoration, but Sauron, focusing on the threat posed by Isildur's last living descendant, Aragorn, I don't know. I'm not. Failed to perceive that the White Council established the Fellowship of the Ring to have the One Ring secretly taken to Mount Doom in Mordor to destroy the ring. This action completely wipes out Sauron once his ring is destroyed while facing Aragorn's army at the Black Gate of Mordor. Now, here's a funny thing. Like I said, Sauron was originally a Maya. And you want to know the reason why he can't turn invisible with the One Ring? According to Wikipedia, according to Game Rant, Olsen said that the reason Sauron does not turn invisible when he puts on the ring is because, quite simply, he does not have a body. At least not in the normal sense, Anyway, like I said, Sauron was a Maya. Maiar spirits are angel-like beings that are powerful and have existed since the beginning of time, which means they can't really turn invisible. Well, he can't really turn invisible, but still. Anyways, he also has a very long character paragraph, and I'm not going to get into it. I am going to be going into his arsenal. So, for his arsenal and equipment, Sauron carries his father's sword, his trademark war mace, and, like I said, the One Ring. What the one Ring does is that it has different functions, like invisibility, power augmentation, and will domination. Like I said, he can't turn invisible because he was a Maya. However, unlike the other rings, the One Ring, however, has a mind of its own because he put his power in it and can make people bring it back to Sauron as well. For his powers, he possesses magic, immortality, fire powers, shapeshifting, necromancy, resurrection, regeneration, illusions, different types of manipulation like shadow, fear, weather, mind, and darkness. He has intangibility and he knows enchanting. For his feats, however, he can tap into the fires of the earth, can regenerate from nothing but his soul, fought alongside Morgoth and his enemies in the War of the Jewels, sweeps aside armies of men and elves with mere swings of his mace. One of, if not the most powerful character in his universe, easily resists Celebrimbor's branding. The most powerful Maya of the series, arguably, survives Celebrimbor's attempt to kill him and corrupted all 9 kings of men to become Nazgul or ring wraiths. Did you even hear what I said about his feats?
Oh yeah, I did.
And however, he does have his own drawbacks or flaws. Like, for example, Sauron losing his ring causes him to lose his body. He got banished by Galadriel, lost his ability to take fair form after the sinking of Numenor, second-rate Dark Lord compared to Morgoth, and unable to reacquire the One Ring himself, and requires the Nazgul to take the ring to him. Which means it's not... And it's not like he can just take the ring off by himself. He has to keep it on at all times, because if he loses the ring, he loses his body as well. And he has to have the Nazgul to retrieve it for him.
Oh boy. So yeah, that was.
Oh yeah, I can't forget about the Eye of Sauron. You know, the giant tower.
Oh yeah, not that.
What is he?
I think wasn't that like in. I'm trying to remember because it's been a while since I watched the Lord of the Rings movies. Was it Two Towers? I'd have to look this up real quick. Eye of Sauron. I need to look up what movie it was. I need to look up what film it was in. No, I don't want to know about the Eye of Sauron. I want to know what film. A tower. What did it appear? It's Sauron and the Two Towers. I'm guessing it was the Two Towers. It, yeah, I'm right. It is the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers. Uh, so yeah, the Eye of Sauron's a tower essentially. Mm.
What does it do exactly?
Well, if since I can't really play footage from Lord of the Rings, I will have to send you the video for it.
I might have to mute my volume because I think the TV ad I played for the commercial for the commercial of World of Warcraft might be copyrighted.
I didn't I didn't see any copyrighted music thing on the video, but who knows? Maybe it might change or whatever. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Anyways, there. This
Okay, I'm going to have to mute my audio.
so yeah, he's gonna check out what this tower does.
Okay, I watched the video, and I don't think I've understood any of what was happening. I didn't see the Eye of Sauron do anything.
Well, I did find another video right here
What?
that explains what the Eye of Sauron is and what it essentially is. Essentially,
I couldn't even understand the dialogue because it sounded like everybody was talking in a quiet voice. Probably because I was using my Discord app.
that's fine. But yeah, basically, I also sent that in case if you were confused. So,
So you give me the rundown on what it?
okay, what is the Eye of Sauron? It's basically, according to the Lord of the Rings wiki, Eye of Sauron, or the Great Eye, was a symbol adopted by Dark Lord in the Third Age. It was said that a few could endure its terrible gaze. The eye was used as a symbol on armor and banners of Mordor, representing Sauron's quasi-omniscience. With it, Sauron searched for and tracked paths of the ring-bearer Frodo Baggins at the end of the Third Age.
Oh, and what happens if you look at it?
Well,
Do you
it,
die or?
well, one moment only it stared out, but as far from a great. This is just quotes from the book of Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. Uh, let's see here. It's unknown when the Aura Sauron was formed. At the apex of Barad-dûr, the Eye was a flaming, visible, though perhaps not tangible, presence during the events of Lord of the Rings. Made clear when it appeared, though a window when clouds parted in Mordor. Oh yeah, and it didn't look like what it did in the Peter Jackson films in 1980.
Oh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, there was an adaptation of Lord of the Rings before Peter Jackson.
okay. I thought the Eye of Sauron was gonna shoot like a laser or something.
There was a card game. A card, a card game. Seriously?
Can we just
Let's.
get on topic before we start to get derailed?
Yeah, this the Eye of Sauron's getting a little confusing, but it basically was one of the key elements that tracked down the ring bearer.
It can track down the ring bearer.
Yeah, that's what did. It was keeping track of the ring bearer Frodo Baggins at the end of the Third Age.
And if it tracked down the ring bearer, what would it do? Would it like gives you a seizure or something?
Uh, not that I know of, but it would pretty much say. Well, remember, Sauron was after the One Ring of Power. So what would he send? The ring wraiths, obviously.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched the movie, so but like it is pretty messed up.
Hmm. Well, I'm not gonna get in. Oh, hey, there's also some trivia from the DB wiki about Sauron. Sauron is the third Embracer character to appear after Lara Croft in The Mask. He is the first Lord of the Rings character to appear. Sauron and his opponent are the fourth and fifth novel characters to appear after Harry Potter, Sun Wukong, and James Bond.
Yeah, yeah. They're probably gonna also reference a lot of material from the books, since the books came way before World of Warcraft and the Peter Jackson adaptations.
Yeah.
And I suppose it was only a matter of time till we got to the skid marks. That was the Lich King. So I'm just gonna break it down summary, so I'm not boring you with this whole long page of fucking lore that the Lich King has. So what
Let
the
me
Lich
guess. Is this lore is as complicated as Kingdom Hearts?
No, it is very expansive.
Like
Uh,
Harry Potter? No, wait, not Harry Potter. Kirby?
Anyways, apologies if my voice sounds like utter crap, but I'll do what I can when I read this. Uh,
Well, of course.
Lich King was the master and lord of the Scourge, which he ruled telepathically through the helm of domination from his frozen throne atop a ice-crowned citadel. Kajerin the Deceiver. I'm sorry, all you World of Warcraft stands that know these pronunciations better than me, so I'll let it slide. Created the original Lich King from the spirit of Orc Shaman Ner'zhul for the purpose of raising an undead army to weaken Azeroth in preparation for the Bird Legion's invasion. Initially trapped within the Frozen Throne with Frostmourne, the Lich King eventually betrayed Kil'jaeden and merged with the human Arthas Menthiel.
I'm sorry, he fused with a human?
Oh yeah, he fused with a human.
That. To me, that doesn't really make any sense.
Well, it's World of Warcraft. Fantasy lore does not have to make sense.
Fair enough.
Uh, at the climax of the War of Northrend, Arthas the Lich King was defeated by High Lord Tyrion Fordring and his champions. After the destruction of Frostmourne and the death of Arthas, Bolivar Fordragon became the new Lich King in order to keep the undead scourge in check. Bolivar was later defeated by Sylvanas Windrunner, who also destroyed the Helm of Domination, making the position of Lich King come to an end. Lich King Arthas was the titular antagonist of World of Warcraft: The Wrath of the Lich King. And there's so much fucking story talking about Lich King. I'm just gonna go over the basics of Wrath of Lich King in terms of it. That way I'm not boring you to death with all the massive lore.
Fair enough.
Uh,
More is.
so starting at the awakening, when the Lich King awakened, he removed his own heart, believing that anything that made him at all mortal made him weak. Afterwards, he journeyed to Sindragosa's Fall, where he raised an ancient dragon, Sindragosa, to the first consort to Malgios, as a frost worm, and then watched his massive undead army prepare for war. While he was sleeping, his Death Knights trained an Ice Crown. After he woke, he ordered the march on Light's Hope Citadel because of the 1,000 heroes of the Alliance buried there. He wanted to raise them and claim those lands for the Scourge. Lich King also saw fit to bring Argyll back, so his son Lon resurrected him as a Shade. Attacking Horde and Alliance, the capitals of Azeroth. So yeah, it gets pretty complex. And the Lich, and pretty much the summary I already talked about who killed him, so I'll let it slide. But anyway,
Of course, he had to rip his own heart out. There has to be some cost in order to become like a dictator hellbent on world domination.
all right. Since I mentioned Frostmourne, what is so special about Frostmourne, you ask? Oh, it's nothing but just a sword that literally drains life from its victims and to drain the soul from anyone who connects to it.
Wait, seriously?
Yep. And he's capable of seeing through the eyes and hearing through the ears of anyone who wields Frostmourne. This ability cannot be stopped by any mortal means.
Wow.
Lich King can
Does it
communicate
have
with
its
the
drop?
Lich King can communicate with the wielder at will telepathically or on any plane and at any distance. Lich King uses this ability to try and corrupt the wielder over time. This has several effects. An individual who wields Frostmourne will not part with it willingly. Over time, the person will go from good to neutral and finally to evil. A non-undead evil wielder will wield it, or or let me will then become undead.
But the sword does have its drawbacks, right?
It should. Finally, the sword is able to suck a being's soul into the sword. Frostmourne then retains the memories and skills from its victim. The fact that In fact, as the wielder's original body remains within 1 mile of Frostmourne, the sword maintains control of the body. I mean,
Hmm.
and he may not be completely aware that his consciousness has shifted to that weapon. Beyond 1 mile, the sword cannot control the wielder's body, and the wielder, of course, finally becomes quite aware of his current state, if he is not already.
Okay, but still, it does have drawbacks, right? I mean, there are some items of some weapons that characters have that has its own drawbacks, right? Like the mask, or no, wait, not the mask, like the Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay, so let's see here. The sword is demonstrated through its all abilities throughout WoW lore, such as in Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos. Frostmourne increased Arthas' base damage by 22 points, which was full effective against all armor types of armor, including that of buildings and divine beings. For balance reasons, this effect was only applied during the Frostmourne mission and not during the Path of the Damned or the Legacy of the Damned campaigns. So they'll probably most likely rely on Wrath of the Lich King or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, let's see here. Here it is. Helm of Domination was crafted by demons to both hold the spirit of Ner'zhul and grant him his Lich King powers. The helm, which helps command undead and others, plus the Plate of the Damned, which makes the wearer nearly invulnerable, were bonded to Ner'zhul's spirit and locked within the Frozen Throne. The Rune Blade Frostmourne was also locked inside the Frozen Throne, but Ner'zhul cast it from the throne, so it would eventually find its way to Arthas. Upon shattering the Frozen Throne, he donned the helm and inherited the Lich King's powers. See here, I'm trying to see if there's any weaknesses on this thing, because I could not find Lich King's weaknesses worth my life.
I mean, there has to be some weaknesses of characters that do have, but if he's like Apocalypse, then he has no weakness.
This is exactly why I said that this one was one of the most frustrating ones to look for. Because you can find stuff on Sauron pretty easily, but Lich King? Nada. Unless, let's see here. Here is he in Heroes of the Storm? Because I know that was a Blizzard game on its own right.
If you don't mind, I'm going to mute my mic so I can hear you better.
Okay. Let's see here. Ah, here it is. Arthas. So, if they're going by Wrath of Lich King, we're going by Arthas, if I remember correctly. According to, what, the lore? Yeah, if we're going by Arthas, we're going by Wrath of the Lich King. So we're going to have to rely on Heroes of the Storm wiki for this. Let's see here. Let me move this over here. I totally forgot to move it over there. But, yeah, let's see here. Lich King, Arthas, Strengths, are Arthas' weaknesses. I'm guessing. Oh god, this is even worse than anything. Never mind. It's just telling me stats in terms of gameplay. Okay, let's see here. Let's try searching Lich King WoW and weapons and weaknesses. Ugh, goddamn. Ugh. Okay, maybe this might help. Oh! Goddamn. Oh, I might have to read all this fucking lore. Holy shit. Okay, how powerful is the Lich King and Frostmourne? Let's try this video. Refresh. Of course, it's got an ad. Ghost Street, you're not helping any.
This is you. Wait, no. This is you.
Fucking ads.
You want to conquer the world of Al?
I refuse to have your mustaches.
In this video, we'll be going over how most of his power and strength apply for other Lich Kings as well. Todd, the other lore master, will be narrating this video, so just sit back.
Plate of the Damned, and it covers most of the body, yet it rests lightly upon the wearer. The first Lich King Ner'zhul's spirit is bound within the plates of the Damned, and when Arthas placed the Helm of Domination on his head, he merged with the spirit of Ner'zhul.
So, did you manage to find any information based off of the Lich King?
That's what I'm trying to find.
The Lich King's armor would also, if damaged, magically repair itself in an instant and was nearly invulnerable. Eventually, Arthas as the Lich King consumed Ner'zhul's spirit and...
So I decided to look up videos on Lich King's lore, just for me to have a better time looking up something.
Oh god, I hope this doesn't turn out to be a 1 hour prediction, because the previous predictions we did, it scaled up to 1 hour, like the Black Apocalypse.
Why do you think I said this was probably going to be one of the most frustrating ones to find?
Ruled as the Lich King alone, as well as destroyed all the goodness that was in him. The crown of the Lich King, which is known as the Helm of Domination,
We all knew it was
put
going
on
to be
the user's
Sauron
head,
versus
gives
the
him
Lich
the
King.
powers of the Lich King. And
Yeah, we
transmits
knew
the
it.
jailer
I
to
just
the
didn't
Damned. The helm
I knew it was going to be Sauron versus Lich King. I mean, hell, that was one of the predictions I had before the Halloween episode. I just didn't expect it to appear after this one.
Yeah, me too. It looks like we're going to have to wait for Nemesis versus Pyramid Head next year.
Hopefully, because for one, we need another Resident Evil character on the show.
Yeah, when was the last time they added a Resident Evil character? Who was it? Leon Kennedy?
Leon Kennedy versus Frank West.
And Leon won. As a Dead Rising fan, I am genuinely upset that Frank didn't win.
For one, it was fucking Leon. What did you expect?
I kind of missed the aftermath of reels that Death Battle did. Remember?
Yeah. But yeah,
You know,
this. So
you know the aftermath reels, as in what the characters were doing after the fight. I kind of missed that.
So thanks to a channel called the Crossroads Inn for helping
What
a little
controls
bit
the
on
undead
info
scourge
on
and
Lich
forces them
King.
to obey the wearer's will. If the helm is put on one's head,
The last
and
time they did
previous
an
Lich King
aftermath
is still
reel, it
alive,
was
will kill the
Shazam
user by
versus
surging
Captain
full of
Marvel.
power. Only divine beings are not slain, but they still cannot command his powers if the Lich King is alive. It is said that Frostmourne, the Lich King's fearsome rune-inscripted two-handed longsword, was the true jailer of the damned and Lord of the Scourge,
I also
since
kinda
Arthas'
missed the
soul was consumed
fight.
by it, and he was controlled by it at first.
Or
The
that
Lich King is
appears
able to
during-
wield Frostmourne
before
effortlessly,
the fights.
despite its size and weight, as well
That
as
was-
slice through
that was
most
good.
opponents with minimal resistance. It would also shatter almost any weapon it came into contact with, as well as take the opponent's soul.
Oh. So apparently this weapon can also shatter a weapon. So Frostmourne can shatter almost any weapon. Oh boy, why do I get the feeling Sauron might have a little bit of a problem?
I'm sorry, what did you say about what weapon shatters what?
Apparently Frostmourne can shatter almost any weapon.
Wait, really?
Yeah, from what I'm finding out in this video.
Okay,
Since himself,
how much force
Frostmourne has
can
the
he
ability
shatter
to
a
drain the
weapon
life
with
from its
Frostborn?
victims, as well as drain.
Or is it Frostborn or Frostborn?
It's Frostmourne. It's
Okay, how much force can Frostborn shatter a weapon?
that's the thing. I don't know how much force is applied, but uh, let's see here. I'm gonna assume shatter a weapon. No, I don't want to know how much. Okay, how about sword? How much force can a sword shatter? I know. I want to know. Okay, so a sword has about, depending on the size, the big a 6,138 pounds of peak force is huge for of a sword. So I'm going to presume it took that much effort just to shatter a normal blade.
The soul of its user, the first one being Arthas. Before he became the Lich King himself and served Ner'zhul, Arthas could hear the Lich King talking to him telepathically through the blade, which was possible at any plane or any distance. Frostmourne would corrupt the wielder over time, and any individual that wields it will not part with it willingly. Over time, the person will go from good to neutral, and finally to evil. It is the same principle as with the One Ring of Power of Sauron. It simply
Oh, I see where they got their inspiration from. So the Frostmourne is basically the One Ring of World of Warcraft.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? Are you
You
telling me
you
that
know how
Frost...
the okay, you know how the One Ring corrupts the bearer over time?
Yeah?
Frostmourne has that similar ability where the wielder of the blade gets corrupted over time and eventually becomes evil.
So you're telling me that Frostmourne, Lich King's blade, corrupts the user?
Yeah, and Lich King can wield it effortlessly. Just like how fucking Sauron can use the one ring of power with no problems unless his finger gets chopped off.
Curious question, are they both corrupted?
They're yeah, they're both evil. They're both evil.
But are they corrupted? Like their minds are corrupted?
I don't know.
cannot be used for
So
good,
you're telling me
even though
that
the wearer
Frostmourne is
wants
also
to.
the inspiration
After the
behind the
wielder
One
becomes
Ring?
evil, he will then become undead.
Yeah. So basically, when you get put it two and two together, Lich King's inspiration is literally Sauron.
Hmm. Now I know why they pit them
After which,
against
the
each other
blade
in the
finally
next death
completely
battle.
takes over
Because
the soul. The Lich King sometimes kept
they're both evil bearers in fantasy like tales.
Frostmourne in the Halls of Reflection, where he was
Fair
able
enough.
to see all the souls it had taken, including his father's, as well as Uther the Lightbringers, which were all trapped inside
Curious
the
question,
rune blade.
which Harry Potter character would Sauron fight against?
No clue.
The fight that I... The fight that I don't want for Harry Potter is Nick from Mystic Force. Power Rangers Mystic Force. So, final thoughts. Who's gonna win the fight?
I want to. Part of me wants to say Lich King, but part of me also wants to say Sauron. But
I'm
then
rooting
again,
Sauron.
I've
I'm rooting.
seen book characters win against a character that hasn't been around the longest.
I'm going to root Sauron, but I'm betting on Lich King because I don't think Sauron would stand a chance against him.
Yeah, all Lich King would need to do is slice off Sauron's finger, and the
Yeah,
One
but
Ring is gone.
how would he figure out the One Ring?
That is a very good question. I don't know if he would know that the One Ring does the similar effects that his blade does.
unless if he pulls a reverse flash, he's gonna be like, sorry, was that important?
That would be pretty hilarious.
Yeah,
It would be
because
it would be a throwback to Reverse Flash versus Goku Black.
Yeah, but how did Reverse Flash even know about Goku Black's ring?
I mean, if
I guess-
Goku could find out about the ring, surely I'm pretty sure anyone could notice that that ring was the cause of the bullshit. But
Yeah. So,
yeah.
final thoughts?
uh, it I'm kind of torn on this. Like, so yeah, I'm sorry if this prediction is not normal like the previous ones where I actually have info on the character, like stats and feats and shit.
Like Apocalypse?
Oh, Apocalypse was easy to find.
As well as Black Adam.
Yeah, every other character I've done was easy to find. It's just Lich King. There was no page for him on the Versus Wiki. Otherwise, I've been able to get his powers, stats, and weaknesses no problem.
Okay, well, for my final thoughts, I'm ruining Sauron but betting Lich King because I think Sauron would get murked by him.
But we'll have to see what happens, who wins this, because I really don't know who's going to win.
But the next time, I hope it's not Mikey versus Huey, because I don't think Huey from the Boondocks would stand a chance against Mikey.
I don't know. Wait, was he one of the characters that was revealed?
No, not yet. Do you even know the Boondocks?
I think I know the Boondocks. I'm not really too sure, but anyways, yeah, that was one of the most frustrating predictions I've ever had to endure because one character didn't have any page in terms of stats and feats.
And I didn't even want to have Sauron versus Wiki because the stat that I tried to look for him kind of complicates things for me, so I used the DB Fanon Wiki and the official DB Wiki to help me out.
But yeah, instead, it just gave me lore every single time.
And I also found out that the Nazgul is basically a bunch of an army of undead zombies, or ghouls.
Yeah, that's what they are. Even though this is coming from someone who's never touched World of Warcraft except when they tried it when it was free before, oh, we must make money, we need subscriptions. But
And this also came from the guy who was trying to look up Sauron despite not knowing Lord of the Rings.
So yeah, I know who Sauron is. It's just been a while since I watched the movies.
Yeah. Well, for my final thoughts, rooting Sauron, betting Lich King. Sauron would get murked.
It's gonna be one of those battles where I'm gonna be like, alright, I'm gonna have to see who actually wins to get my final thoughts fully clear, because, you know, some battles are like that where I'm so unsure I'd have to actually watch the fight to see how it plays out.
Hey, I haven't played World of Warcraft 2 because it's for PC and more of a console game. Anyways,
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for having me on your prediction storm. I'll see you 2 weeks for the fight, and I'll be ready. So, thank you for having me on your prediction.
Not a problem. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully by 2 weeks I'll be better. Hopefully by 2 weeks I'll be a lot better. I won't be sounding like shit. And yeah, this was definitely one of the most frustrating predictions I ever had to endure. So, but anyways, as for what I'm going to be doing next, will I be doing Fighting Game Tuesday or not? It depends. If I do it, great. If not, oh well. So until then, Captain Hedgewolf signing off. I'll see you in the next stream.